Glad to welcome Tyson Cross and Tyson Langhofer, his attorney here. You guys have become the center of the national spotlight after your speech to the Loudoun County School Board, Tanner. Tell me what prompted you to make that speech.
What prompted me to make that speech was that there were two proposed school policies that I believe are going to be harmful to students and staff members. And they go against my faith. So I can't say things that are untrue. So I felt that I had to voice my opinion at the public hearing. So.
This is not yet a policy. It's a draft policy, as I understand it, correct?
Correct.
So you're just speaking out as a normal citizen who happens to be a school teacher as well.
Yeah, it was on my own time. It was after hours. It was like 5 p.m., 5:30. And they have 2 a month. So I just decided to go voice my opinion and concern about two proposed policies that are going to be intact soon.
And tell me when it was that you got word that you had been suspended with pay following that speech.
The following day after the school board meeting, I went and worked a full day and played t-ball with my kids and had a blast. And then that night, Wednesday night, I got a call from the HR department to meet me Thursday morning. I went in Thursday morning to the HR department and they placed me on administrative leave because they said I was a disruption to Leesburg Elementary.
What was your reaction?
I was very shocked because when they said that I was put on administrative leave, I asked immediately, why am I being put on administrative leave? And they said it was in the letter. So the HR shoved the letter over across the table to me and I read it and it said that I was a disruption to the operations at Leesburg Elementary.
And when did you reach out for legal counsel?
I reached out, I believe the night before, the night when HR called me and wanted me to come into a meeting. Mm-hmm. I thought something was off. So
and
I sought Alliance Defending Freedom.
And why did you seek them out? You were familiar with them?
Yes, familiar just in the area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And certainly in Loudoun County schools.
Yeah.
All right. And tell me, Tyson, what your perspective is on this legally speaking. You're filing suit, obviously. What are you alleging in the suit?
Well, we're alleging that the school's suspension of Tanner because of his speech that he gave in a private capacity on a matter of public opinion was a violation of both his First Amendment rights to freedom of speech, but also free exercise of religion, because Tanner indicated that his views are informed by his religious beliefs. And you know what's important for everybody to understand is that teachers are just like everybody else. They've got opinions and they got views and beliefs, and they have the right to share those opinions. And the government can't punish them for simply sharing those opinions, especially in a public forum where they're asking for comment on proposed policies.
Did your client in any way face a dual problem here, in the sense that he is an employee of the school district which made this decision or which has proposed this draft policy? But at the same time, he's speaking out as an individual citizen. I know as a private employee, there have been many times I've disagreed with my employees, or employer, I should say. And you just assume that you have to go along with the rules that they set. They are, after all, an elected school board.
They are, but here's the important point to understand. Governmental officials cannot make policies that violate constitutional rights. So they have the right to impose policies on their school employees. They do not have the right to create policies which violate teachers' constitutional rights. And what Tanner was doing is what every school board should want their teacher to do. Tanner had reached out before and sent them an email and said, hey, can we talk? I'm concerned about these policies. They didn't respond. So he came publicly and said, hey, I'm concerned that this might harm students and hurt teachers. Will you consider that? And what they did was punish him. And that's not how it should work, right? They should be inviting and actually welcoming teachers' input, because they have, they're the ones who are the most informed about how this is going to affect the operations of the schools.
You both have now taken on the spotlight, the national spotlight. What kind of a reaction are you getting across the spectrum?
some folks agree with us, some folks disagree with us. That's America, and that's the beauty of diversity in the area that we serve in. Yeah.
Any threats, anything of that sort that you take seriously?
I'm sorry, could you say
any threats coming your way that you take seriously or are worried about?
No, I haven't received any threats, no.
Okay. I think the important thing is, even though people disagree with Tanner's position, what I think everybody should be able to agree is that teachers shouldn't be punished, especially when advocating for the good of their students. And this is across the board. It doesn't matter whether you agree with Tanner or not. Even if you were advocating in favor of the policy, they shouldn't get punished for that. So this is a principle that everybody should really support.
In suspending Tanner, the school board, correct me if I'm wrong, included several statements from parents who were allegedly offended. Do you think that they were prepared with that for some? Did they tap into the transsexual rights movement, for example, to try to get those things? Do you suspect that something was, I don't want to say nefarious here, but were they prepared in advance to retaliate or to respond?
I can't speak on much of that, who exactly it was or what resources they tapped into. We were just notified by the lawyer that was representing Loudoun County Public Schools that there were concerns from 5 parents, I believe, from 5 emails even, and I could be a little off there, but that's what I understood.
Mm-hmm. Tyson, the Alliance for Defending Freedom has a track record of defending cases like this, and you've done so with tremendous success.
Yeah, we have, because, again, the principle we're advocating for is not a new principle. The Supreme Court has held time and time again that governments cannot compel anybody, including their employees, to speak messages they disagree with when it's given in their private capacity on a matter of public opinion. And that's how it should be. When you think about it, the schools, if only 5 parents could come together and get a teacher fired because they disagreed with his political or personal or ideological views, you wouldn't have a public school. It would be a disaster. That's not how it should be.
And Tanner Cross, tell me what kind of changes you have seen in Loudoun County. It has been an epicenter of the battle against wokeness, as it's now referred to in school districts across America. But it seems to me that Loudoun County, which is traditionally a relatively conservative county, has been changing demographically, and with it, so has their level of wokeness. It's gone up dramatically. Have you seen those changes in a practical sense?
I think the community has legitimate concerns about the school board, and they have the right to voice those concerns. I think there is some obvious things that maybe have come up, and so we're dealing with them right now.
Okay, but has there been any massive shift that you've detected in what you're required to do as an instructor?
Oh, well, as an instructor, one of the policies were that I would have to affirm that a biological boy can be a girl and vice versa. It goes against my faith because I believe that's lying to a child. So therefore, I can't say things that are untrue.
Well, let me address that question to you, Tyson. For decades, for millennia, the science has said that there are 2 sexes, male and female. What has changed in that?
Oh, nothing's changed scientifically. This is more socially, and what you're seeing is the other side trying to suppress that debate. That's why they have to cancel somebody like Tanner, because Tanner is countering that narrative, and all what they're trying to do is shut that down because the science does not support them. But again, that's not really even the debate here. The debate is whether a public school teacher should be punished for just giving an opinion on it. And, that's not even, getting on the other debate. So, and that's not up for debate at all. No teacher should get punished for simply sharing his views at a public forum.
Is the fundamental reason you're challenging this is because it's being mandated by a government entity, or is it because that Tanner feels differently than this woke perception?
Well, it's because it's being mandated by a government entity, because the government has different standards. It has to abide by the Constitution. If this was a private employer, they have the ability to determine what they want to believe and what they want to advocate for. The government's different. They're bound by the Constitution. And so they can't just punish employees who simply have different political or ideological or religious views.
And Tyson, what is the road going forward now for you? What do you do? What is the course of this lawsuit? And what are you specifically alleging in the suit?
Well, we're hoping, obviously, that the court rules, and hopefully very soon that Tanner can go back in, because every day that he's out, he's being harmed. He's being irreparably harmed because his speech rights are being infringed upon, and that's the day that he can ever get back. So hopefully he gets back into the classroom very quickly. And then we're also asking, for a determination that they cannot force Tanner to say things that he disagrees with, and they can't punish him for expressing those views. And then obviously we've requested monetary damages for the harm that he has suffered as well.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us how much?
No, it's a process that, that will come out through discovery. There's no specific amount we're requesting at this point.
And Tyson, I believe you said, I heard you say on the radio this afternoon that this could take months, if not years. Tanner, are you prepared for a battle of that duration?
Yeah, I definitely think it's worth it. I don't think that the government should force anybody, let alone teachers, to say things that they don't believe in, because freedom includes the freedom not to speak messages that we disagree with.
And are you prepared in the digital age, as things are, to be branded, a heretic in some respects by one side in this debate permanently? Because as we all know, the internet is forever, and it could be a black mark on you for decades to come. Are you worried about that?
I'm not in it. And at this point, Doug, I really can't control anything. I just want to get back into my gym and go back to doing what I do best. And that's being a PE teacher, teaching kids how to be healthy, smile, and have fun. And what if this leftward tilt that we're seeing now progresses in a progressive way, so to speak, and you're never allowed back in a classroom, never allowed back in a gym? Well, I guess I'll have to seek employment elsewhere.
Okay. That's about as simple as one can put it. It's a direct statement. Tanner, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Tyson, thank you very much for your time. I know it's been a long day, and I'm sure you're eagerly looking and awaiting the judge's decision tomorrow on this temporary injunction. We shall see. Let me just close real quickly. Tyson, do you have any expectation of which way the judge is going to rule on this temporary injunction?
I practiced long enough to. Yeah, I practiced long enough to know that predicting what judges will do is not something I'm very good at. But I feel like we were able to present a very strong case, and I feel like the facts and the law are on our side, and we're hopeful that the judge agrees.
Tanner Cross and Tyson Langhofer, thanks you very much for your time. We'll be talking to you in the future. I'm sure this has only just begun. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. We appreciate you having us on.